got lower back issues, you've got tightness, stiffness, if your lower back's not feeling strong, then I've got a really, really great exercise for you. We're going to be looking at some core work. We're going to be looking at working on your transversus abdominis. Now, I'm Dr. Lisa Smith, everyone, from Errol Chiropractic, and we get lots of people coming into the office with lower back issues, whether they're, athletes or whether they're, just people doing regular everyday work. But we often find that the core is not strong in these people. So we give this exercise quite a bit out to these people. So the transversus abdominis is part of your core musculature, and that's what we're going to be looking at today. So stick around and we'll go through that in a moment. So the core is really, really important, and it's part of what's going to help you have a very strong and healthy spine. So three things. So we'll just quickly kind of put this in the picture. So the first thing our spine needs is alignment. So we need that spine to be aligned properly. The second thing is we need function. So the joints all need to move to give that brain all that information from the body. And we do know from research that 90% of the information that your brain gets is coming from your spine. So we need that spine to work well. Obviously that's where the chiropractic comes in. But the third thing is a really strong core to really help to support that spine. So your core is really for spinal stability, okay? So the transversus abdominis is a deep muscle, and it kind of fans out deep under your six pack, if you like, and not that you'll be seeing mine today. And what the cue for this exercise is belly to spine. Okay, so in a second I'm going to get down, I'm going to show you how to locate this and find out if your transversus abdominis is working, because we hear it all the time, TRA, or TA, and people are kind of like, I don't really understand what all this is about. So we're going to locate it, we're going to see, if it's actually activating properly. So this is really going to help to really get your nervous system focused and aware on this muscle and help with that spinal stability. So I'll show you how to locate it, and then if it's not working and activating properly, I'll let you know what to do as well. Okay, so let's get down on the floor and demonstrate. Okay, so you need a yoga mat or just some carpet or out in the grass. All right, so come down on the floor, and we want to get our feet shoulder width apart. So come down, and then what we need to do is find a neutral spine. Okay, so if we say that at the moment I've got my spine flat on the ground, and we'll say that's a 0, so I can't get my hand in there. Now I'm going to arch up and I can get my arm through. So that's a 10. So a neutral spine is a 6. So kind of get into that nice neutral spine. And do remember when you're doing this exercise to breathe. So people tend to hold their breath, and that's not really going to help. So I'm in that nice neutral spine. The next thing we want to do is use our fingers to help us locate and get that awareness happening. So best to get under your clothes. So find those bony parts in that pelvis. It's a bit hard to see with the dark pants, but come in a few centimeters and down. So using the pads of your fingers, so in and down, and then what you're going to do is your cue. So pulling your belly button to your lower back, and you should feel some muscles there. Okay, so what you should feel, if they're activating properly, is if you imagine you've got some cling film and you're pulling it. So you should get that tightening, but it's flat. So that's what you should be feeling if your transversus abdominis is activating properly. If they're not, you may not feel anything, or you may feel a bulge up, which is then you're not activating the deep muscles, you're using the superficial muscles there. So you're actually not activating. So then I'll come up and then I'll explain to you what to do. Okay, so let's come up nice and carefully. So the other question I often get from people is, well, why do these muscles switch off? There's a bunch of reasons. Pain is number one, like if you've got some really severe lower back pain or chronic pain or discomfort or issues down in that lower back, that can actually switch them off, which is kind of counterproductive, but that's what can happen. Injuries, pregnancies, that can also turn them off too. So it's often missed, even in people who do a lot of exercise, that have issues around this lower back and lower limbs, that transversus abdominis isn't activating properly. So this is a really important one, guys. So it does require a bit of patience, because it can be very frustrating to locate that and actually get it to activate properly. But if you do this and you're consistent with it, you will get some really, really good results, and it will definitely help that lower back and your posture overall. So when you've located and you've got your fingers on those areas, you actually want to hold that position for 10 seconds, okay? And then you want to have a rest in between. So remember, you're in that neutral spine, and have a rest for about half a minute to a minute, and then you can do that 10 times, so 10 sets. So 10 seconds and 10 seconds. So once you feel, and it might take you a week of doing that every day, and even do it twice a day if you want. It might take you a week to even feel it, or feel that they're activating properly. And then you can start to do things like, sit and activate those TRAs. And once you're getting better at this, you don't need to use your fingers, okay? So you'll just start to feel those muscles tightening up. When you're good at sitting down, you can even do it, say, in the car, when you're, say, at traffic lights. You can do it at a rest point in your work day. And then when you get better still, you can do it standing. So when you're brushing your teeth, or washing the dishes, or standing, in queue at the post office, or wherever, you can then also, activate those transversus abdominis. So, as you get better at it, this is a really great foundation then for you to, do your other exercises, sports, gym work as well. So guys, if you're obviously under chiropractic care, this is the great thing for you to do to really get more benefit out of your chiropractic care. But if you're not under chiropractic care and you're still getting issues after you've done all this work with your transversus abdominis, then just give us a call. The number's here on the site, on the Facebook page, and we'd be more than happy to check out that spine to see if you've got any functional or structural issues. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time. Bye then.